Welcome to Teatrizz, currently under construction and located in the prime luxury hotel zone in Cancun, Mexico. Teatrizz is home to the anticipated dinner theater show, Jukebox. Prepare to be transported to an otherworldly experience, to be dazzled and delighted and whisked away to other dimensions. Jukebox is a 2-hour immersive multimedia experience. We tell the story of the evolution of music by employing song, dance, theatrics, and innovative audio and video technologies to take our guests on a journey rich in cultural diversity. From the prehistoric ancient to the technologically advanced 21st century, the show is a sensory delight, showcasing creative choreography, costume design, staging, lighting, audio, and visual effects. The score consists of the most internationally celebrated songs spanning all eras. They will reflect respected musical genres and their cultural influences. This experience will be brought to life by a team of industry visionaries specializing in entertainment and in the creation of internationally respected shows ranging from Cirque du Soleil, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Ricky Martin, and more. The show will feature live song and dance performances as well as utilize theatrical harnesses and flying rigs to facilitate the mobility of our entertainers while they display dazzling aerial choreography. High-impact digital scenery throughout the venue will support the live show experience and further enhance the physical space by the use of video projections, LEDs, and video mapping technology. During the show, patrons will enjoy a banquet-style dinner consisting of 4 courses. An internationally known Michelin star chef will design the menu. The objective is culinary ease to efficiently serve all guests, allowing our servers to deliver food to all the tables at the same time in a grand entrance fashion and wearing various show supporting costumes. Creative rundown. The show will be strung together by way of a jukebox that will appear throughout the evening. A live character actor will travel through the audience and engage them by performing various comedic scenarios that lead him to press a button on the jukebox that will blast him off into different eras. The creation of the planet Earth. This event will be simulated by digital design elements, allowing our guests to travel through time and space. The Big Bang, the quantum theory. Dramatic sound effects and visual imagery set the scene. Amphibians and other aquatic creatures appear in process of their evolution. The reference here is 101 Space Odyssey. The Caveman Era. The invention of music. The aim is to visually enact the discovery of humanity, originating with prehistoric man and his relationship with music. Think of productions such as Stomp, employing at first basic tempos, rhythms, and melodies, expanding these into complex musical symphonies that leaves one gasping. The atmosphere will be reminiscent of prehistoric natural habitat, harnessing elements such as rocks and caves. Homo sapiens appear throughout the venue, walking about and taking our patrons by surprise. They make their way to the stage and perform a musical number. This first performance will lead us into representations of a number of continents and cultural influences that made history, shaped our evolution, and eventually culminated into what today we understand as our global village. Africa. Africa is considered by most paleoanthropologists to be the oldest inhabited territory on Earth. For this section, we feature ancient African tribal song and dance performances, employing exotic instruments such as the marimba, the wooden pygmy xylophones, and the ramki. Asia. Asia is the largest and most populous continent. It is home to some of the world's earliest known civilizations. The general feel of this section is choreography and costume elements that reflect shogun, samurai, kung fu. Arabia. Rich in culture and history, the Arabian Peninsula has long been accepted as the original Urimat of the Semitic languages by a majority of scholars. Naturally, for this musical piece, we are transported through the desert into a scene of Arabian Nights, snake charming, and belly dancing. The Pre-Hispanic Era. The pre-Hispanic era begins with a Mayan drum show and dance a la Cirque du Soleil, and will feature a dazzling array of percussive dance performances and pyrotechnics by Mayan gods and warriors dressed in their traditional costumes. The Classical era, Baroque and Renaissance. The Baroque period began around 1600 in Rome and spread to most of Europe. At the time, the Catholic Church had decided that the arts should communicate religious themes in direct and emotional involvement, and therefore supported and encouraged the success of the Baroque period. For this piece, Catholic kings appear on stage to present a group dance to Baroque music. The ambiance is as if we are all inside an ornate palace during a Venetian carnival. Huge candelabras descend from the ceiling over each of the tables. Aerial acts, dancers, and live musical ensemble set the scene. Opera. The opera section features Phantom of the Opera performed against a dramatic and ornate theater background. We will incorporate elements of spoken theater with live music and vocal performance. A ballet will be incorporated into this section. The Nutcracker Suite and other greats are to be considered. 1914 World War I. This is a transitional piece. A video segue of the First World War will transition us into the next era. Video mapping will depict an ambiance of war destruction. We see and hear bombs dropping throughout the room. The video projections on the ceiling are of a sepia gray sky and moving clouds. A large warplane appears and opens its chambers as to drop a huge bomb. The room experiences various blackouts. A Constellation Mayer sound system delivers dramatic sound design to this epic scene. Jazzy Charleston. We will represent the Roaring Twenties in an extravaganza flapper style featuring the Charleston. The stage will set the scene of Chicago and Great Gatsby. A comic interlude will include a Charlie Chaplin character riding his bicycle overhead on a tightrope. Musical references for this era will be New Orleans-style jazz. For the Second World War, we will present another video segue of World War II. This will transition us into the next era. Soldiers will start descending from the sky in a spectacular fashion and perform a group aerial performance. The Big Band era. Musical reference for this section of the show are the great musical works from Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis Jr., Bing Crosby, Glenn Miller, and other greats. 1950s rock and roll. Right about now, the idea is that dinner is coming to a close and dessert is about to be served. We are now transported to the 1950s. Think Happy Days, Johnny Rockets, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard to set the scene. The 1960s flower power. Dessert is over and the party atmosphere is filling the room. The ambiance is vintage footage of the 60s era. The music would be the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Santana, the Supremes, Beach Boys, and others. The 1970s. Afro wigs and props are distributed to the guests. The ambiance is Studio 54. We will have impersonators hanging out and partying at Studio 54. Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, Donna Summer, and more arrive to the club. The waiters are now paparazzi and encourage photo ops with the guests and stars as they arrive. After the arrival, the waiters remove the tablecloths from the tables to reveal LED acrylic tables as mini stages. Guests are invited to dance on top of the tables as giant disco balls descend upon the venue. Roller skaters fill the stage, and from this moment onward, guests are invited to keep dancing on and around the tables. The 1980s and 90s. The idea is to highlight the fashion, hairstyles, and dance moves of the icons of the era through a magnificent performance featuring all of our favorite hits by artists such as Prince, Madonna, Boy George, and the Big Hair Bands. the Latino and Salsa section. Naturally, we continue the crescendo of energy into a mass explosion of the Latin rhythms, ending the evening's performance on an energetic high. Our finale. The show ends with a dramatic sound design and laser show, ramping up the energy and culminating into the modern DJ. The plan is to feature an original piece of electronic music by a celebrity DJ. This concludes the show. Guests are ushered into the adjacent disco, complete with bar and lounge, to continue enjoying the evening while dancing to the latest electronic music. The following clips feature examples of staging, lighting, water effects, video mapping, and other new technologies that we wish to employ.